Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I woke up at like 1 in the morning and just never went back to sleep.
I think we both did that. I think we both
Yeah.
did that today.
And I have I
Are we
have
synced?
plans. Yes, I have plans with like girlfriends today, so I can't I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit a nap in yet or not.
Okay. Okay.
So there was we're about to talk about being single versus being in relationships. And there was a guy that I talked about here a couple times. We talked about I felt like we met on for a reason, that he was a nicer guy. Well, tonight I'm having drinks with his wife's best friend to have a talk.
Okay.
Not ex-wife, wife's best friend, to have a little wine together and connect some dots.
Oh man. See, I don't know. Okay, I'm not calling you out specifically. I'm just saying that when it comes to your dating life, you seem to have a lot of stories, right?
Yes.
And so like I
You
don't
can call me out
but I
because
don't
my friends all the time are like, "How do you even make this stuff up?" And I'm like, "I don't. I can't.
that's just
I
it because
cannot make this stuff up."
and I don't want to call you out on that because I know exactly what you're looking for, right? You're looking for love, you're looking for companionship, you're looking for the next one, right? So I'm not I don't
Yes.
want to call you out on
So my
anything.
last relationship did not work out, obviously, but I missed that like closeness,
Right, right. But
which I
where I was
never
going though, where I was
before.
going real
I've been
quick,
single for 6 years, but I'm very much like the first year or two you should be single because
okay.
I think divorce takes a lot out of you, and most people are a big time mess the first year. And that's why I don't date newly single guys. And the reason why I'm having wine tonight to connect some dots is exactly why I should, as soon as he told me he was newly single, I should have backed off.
Whoa.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
So I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday because I've found myself single once again. And uh somebody was telling me like you said, you stay single, you know, be be by yourself for a while, learn to live with yourself. And my whole answer to that is I know how to be by myself. I know how to live with myself. And the truth is it's not my most favorite thing. So like why would I want to keep doing that?
Well, you've had long term. Here's why. Because even when, like last week, when we were talking about your relationship, you still had triggers and emotional things that you hadn't faced yet. And I'm a total hypocrite. I just think those are things that you need to. I don't think it's the next person's job to fix them.
I don't disagree. And full disclosure, and I don't know if we're going too TMI on this stream, but I mean, this is what we do, right? Like the one thing that we do is we don't really hold much back. So, like, here it is.
But they also need to know what your triggers are because there are still some. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And I felt like I had communicated those. So I guess that's where I was, but anyway, I started therapy yesterday, right? So that's something that I've really been putting off because when the marriage ended and all of that, I thought to myself, I know what's going on in my head. I'm good, right? But you still need someone to help you kind of channel that and take like that stupid box game that we had when we were kids, that little round silver ball in the box where you turned it and you had to avoid the holes in the box to get the ball from one end to the other.
Yeah.
You need someone to kind of help your thoughts do that. And so I guess on the being single for a year after you break up with somebody or a marriage ends or something like that, I guess it's time for that. But then also if you're used to working in a team and if you find somebody who's had a shared similar experience, like if you're fresh out of a marriage, let's say you're 6 months out of a marriage and you find somebody else who's also 6 months out of a marriage, can't there be kind of a mutual understanding that you're both going through something pretty raw? And so you're not really going to fault the other for having emotions and stuff like that?
I agree. I think everybody has their own time because how many times have men or women left their marriage for somebody else? Like they were already seeing somebody else. So why is that different than if you just start dating right away?
Right.
I guess it's just different for all people. I guess I was single for 6 years, but not really single. I'd still date and stuff. And then I had a guy who was in and out and in and out. And but now I'm ready for like the thing. And this year I can't do that. This year I need to focus on getting healthy and hanging out with my kids and all those things. I have a lot going on. But I still would like somebody to like talk to, like a companion,
Right. Right. And so, I mean, is that the difference between dating and marriage in your 20s, 30s, and 40s? You know, like are we at the I just want someone to like go pick out stuff at Home Depot with me phase right now?
You kind of like, yeah, like I kind of want to be. I want to be with somebody. I don't know. I'm a difficult creature.
Okay, like how? But I mean, explore that. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean difficult
Like
creature?
even on my dating profile, like I don't know if you're here for a good time or a long time. Like I could sit here all day and be like, I'm looking for the one, I'm looking for the one, I'm looking for the one, and then between now and the end of the year, have 6 one-night stands because just those weren't the guy for me. So I don't know what I'm looking for in a man until I'm hanging out with them.
Okay, so because you're
Does
a
that make
case by case
sense?
basis, so I
Yes.
mean, because you don't like you have a type, but then your type is moldable to like because you like personalities, and so if you come across like you have your barrel chested bearded guy that's your type, but then if the nerd comes
The
along,
chubby
and
tatted
also
5'8", give
yeah,
it to me all day.
but if Rivers Cuomo from Weezer comes along, you're also into that kind of nerd too.
Well, yeah, and I think I have to hang out with them to like know.
Yeah. Okay.
Like what I'm gonna want later from them.
Yeah. See, that's just it. So I was talking to somebody. I actually on my Facebook, I posted this yesterday, and a woman posted a very thoughtful because I asked her. I said, legitimately, give me a better reason than just because you should be for a year after you get divorced. Like tell me. Because I laid out my thing. I said I work better in a team. I work better as a partner. I know how I work solo. I know how I work with somebody. Tell me why, in your words, other than just because you should. And it's a really, really long message, but if you take the time to go to my page and read it for anyone watching, it's a very thoughtful response.
Can you give me some like bullet points?
Bullet points was basically exactly what you said, just laid out even more detailed on really it's just a matter of healing your internal thoughts and not being able to give yourself completely to a relationship because you still have all of those things that you were calling triggers, all of those things that you're dealing with.
Yes.
That are preventing you from giving that person what they're looking from you. Because that person that you're talking to, if they have been single for, I mean, I don't know, a couple of years and they're really ready to settle down. I mean, yeah, you're ready to settle down, but are you ready to settle down with the baggage that you haven't dealt with is what she was telling me. And so I guess my flaw in this is that I felt like I've been dealing with my baggage. Maybe I haven't.
I think maybe you have a little bit more baggage than you think.
Do you think I have more than I think? Because I don't really think that I had that much. You think so?
Yes.
Have I really been downplaying that?
Yes.
Because I don't mean to.
Like you're still angry with your ex-wife. And I think you need to get past that before you start dating somebody else, in my opinion. I don't think it's another woman's job to change your mind on that.
No.
And
I agree.
I think that anger bleeds out in other places when you're upset, and I think that's something that you need to face.
To that point, I'm glad you brought that up because I've noticed in the last 2.5, 3 weeks a little paradigm shift in my thinking where anger has shifted more towards like indifference,
Mm-hmm.
So slowly but surely, but yeah, so like we were talking earlier, and putting it all out there, I thought maybe now's a really good time to go talk to somebody and sort of get that stuff sort of sorted out.
Yeah, me too.
But on that same token,
because with the last one, it put me through like a lot more than people know, and I haven't. It's nothing I faced yet.
So if you're okay, let me ask you this: if you're going through steps for like a healing process, right? Like take anybody, Joe or Jan USA, and they're going through their healing process, right? And they're going through their therapy and they're talking to the peoples. So to that, again, is it still wrong to want to be in a relationship and partner up with somebody while you're doing that if you're actively working on it? Do you really have to wait until all of that is cleared? Because like for my dad, my mom told me my dad, when she met him, I mean, it took him about 5 years to get over his first marriage.
And that's it. And I think that depends on who you're dating and what you guys decide on from the beginning. Because there are still things, because I've been, like I said before, divorced 6 years. If you cancel on me or I'm not invited, I get pretty upset. Like it's a trigger because I automatically think there is somebody else more important than me than you want to see. And it's something that it still triggers every time. So if somebody like, I could not see you all week. And then if I had a bad day and then you went out somewhere and didn't invite me, I'll lose it. I'll lose my mind or cancel because I immediately think somebody else is more important than me. And that's something that I need to like still face.
Okay, so my buddy Kirk, God
That
rest his
and when
soul.
that one and when people give me too many compliments in the beginning, I don't believe what they're saying.
Okay, two things there I want to touch on then with that. The first one, my buddy Kirk. First, the compliments one. Okay, the compliments one. I've been in relationships and talking with people who start heavy with the compliments, and then they say that they want those things, and then like I'll stiff arm and be like, whoa, slow down, like we're gonna run out of things to say too quick. But then some people really want those things, and so like if you don't continue to do that, even though you don't like getting the compliments so much, they're gonna find somebody else who does, right?
Okay, that's okay. So what you're thinking? Have you read the love languages?
There's like 5 of them, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
what you're doing is you're pushing your love language on someone else. And that's not the way they want to be loved. So no, if you want them in your life, you don't have to stop with the compliments, but you need to find their love language. So obviously words of affirmation are not their love language. So just because it's your love language doesn't mean it's theirs. Mine's acts of service. You could tell me I'm beautiful and that all these things all day. I have a hard time believing you because I put up with so much garbage at a guy's mouth that is garbage lies. I'm an acts of service girl. Bring me my favorite candy bar, get my oil changed, draw me a bath, acts of service. So words of affirmation isn't going to work for me, but words of affirmation works for you. You want to be told when you're doing a good job, even though you have a hard time taking it in. You like to be told you're handsome. You like to be told you're doing a good job. You're a good dad. You're a good husband. So your love language is words of affirmation. So if we were a couple, it would be my job to do your words of your love language, and it would be your job to do my love language. So just because you are into words of affirmation is not the case.
This actually really, really gave me a tremendous sense of relief. And can I tell you why?
And what I'm saying making sense?
Yes, because I thought that love languages had to match. I thought that people had to be, I didn't know, I swear to God, I know this sounds so stupid, but I thought for the longest time that like that acts of services needed to be with acts of services. I didn't think that you could meld or weld compliments with that. Like I didn't think that I could be like, you're so awesome because that's what you need. And then you're like, here's your Hershey bar because that's what I need. I didn't know that you could like, I thought that they had to be like same.
Yeah. No, see, mine is acts of service and gifts. I've never been shy about liking little gifts, little presents, but presents in love language is also like your presence. Like they need you there. Like you're a present and that's a gift. Coffees, gifts, person. Like that's, so there's gifts or presents. I don't know exactly what it's called. Acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, and what was the last one? I'm going to look it up.
Okay. So what if you run into somebody that needs like 3 out of those 5? Is that considered needy?
No, I believe that's normal. So mine is definitely acts of service followed by gifts. So your love language, if I know you, would be words of affirmation, physical touch, or am I right?
Yep.
Quality time. Thank you, Janine. Quality time. So everybody's is different. So before, when I thought mine were words of affirmation and quality time, that's not the thing. That's why I've been on and off, not on and off. I've had this buddy up here for 5 years that he is very much acts of service. Like we could be fighting for 3 weeks, and if I need something, he is going to get it done like that. And it reels me back in every time because I'm an acts of service girl. And his acts of service are usually making me things. So it's acts of service and gifts into one.
Okay.
But for him, it's like words of affirmation. He doesn't believe like he's that great of a guy, so he's got to hear it. I got to tell him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to talk about that another time. But I think there's a lot of dudes that are like, all right, that have like ridiculously low self-esteem. That I know it's totally tone deaf right now. It says totally another time.
And but more men are into physical touch than women believe. Like more men, like they need to be. They're women touching them all the time.
See, for me, it's not a sex thing, right? Like I'm 42. I've lived. It can come and go. I have found for me,
not me. Hey, there's only one of us speaking for that here. No,
I don't mean like that. I don't mean like that. right?
If that was in the love languages, that would be my number one.
I don't mean like that. I just mean that I'm finding now more that I'm more into a nurturing physical touch. I'm more into now like the hugging. I'm more into now like if I had to say like a body type, if like we were laying in bed and watching TV, short, because short somehow fits me like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like that's like that sort of fit is kind of my jam. And you know, the other part that's a bonus and that's, you know, whatever, but that sort of physical touch is kind of my or just, you know, a hand on the shoulder, something like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. With my last relationship, when we would go out in public, the rule was like if it was his friends, I'd make him look like he had the best girlfriend and touch his butt a lot.
Okay.
And but you know, make sure, and that was his thing. Like I want to.
He needed his ego fed.
He needed his ego fed.
Okay.
And I'm this, and I want people to think my boyfriend's cool too. Apparently, everybody thought he was so cool that they went after him while I was with him anyway.
Yeah, I know. He never got back to me. He had so many people going after him. So whatever. So you can't blame me for talking to him because he never DM'd me back. What a jerk.
So I guess it is what you want. If you want to be in a relationship, then go be in a relationship. But I think since you are so newly single, that you have to reiterate that more than most. Like I've been single 6 years. So now if I just tell a guy, well, this is what I want, they believe me. Women are going to have a hard time believing you since you got out of a relationship so fast.
So what constitutes as newly single? Like when do you stop being newly single? When are you?
I feel that people think that you are newly single because we didn't talk about it for so long. So you have been single a lot longer than people think. So the perception is different.
Like I haven't been single for a super long time, but I haven't been single for like a couple months. I've been single since November. I'm coming up on like 8-9 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not new, but it's new enough. But for anybody in general, like if you had to put a general blanket on it, if Joe or Jan USA came up to you and said, what do I do? You would tell anybody it's your opinion that you got to take that first year.
My opinion is everybody should take the first year. I think everybody is a mess. But surprisingly, it's the men who jump back in. Most of the people I know, the women take that first year to go solo, to have some fun or cry or be a mess. Like I was a hot mess. And then after this next relationship, I was a hot mess and I had to reel it back in. But I guess everybody handles things differently.
Can I tell you why I think men jump in quicker than women?
Because I think you guys can't be alone.
I think that we are, this is no joke. Follow me here on this. I think that we
yes, Christina,
are in an amazing era where women these last few decades have realized we don't need you guys. So bye. And we're there's this power balance. There's this power shift right now where men are like, whoa, but we kind of need you. So don't go, please.
Yes. I remember the last radio station I worked for, which is forever ago. I remember the guys are like, women's like ultimate goal in their whole life is to get married. I'm like, who are you people? Man, you know, and women my age and older have been taught our whole lives that what you do is you grow up, you have kids, you get married. I remember in my adult life, the only person close to me who told me you don't have to have kids if you don't want to was my brother. And I looked at him like I was offended at him. And now that I'm 40, I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
Tiffany, this next year, I'm going to talk about it later, the end of this month. I have some big changes going on. And this year it's totally just, I'm going to kids, work, travel. That's it. Like, I don't know. I'm on Bumble right now.
This is your Eat, Pray, Love year. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a male companion who was supposed to like tell me where to go, like for my traveling and stuff, and then I flipped out on him yesterday because he pissed me off. So probably going to be doing it.
You're still going to get places to travel. Stop acting like you've never flipped out on him before and he hasn't given you places to travel before.
I don't know, man. I think I need to be done. For my own own mental state. Okay. I can't keep doing it. And he didn't do anything wrong. For my own mental state, I can't keep doing this to myself. I'm expecting something that's never going to change and is never going to happen. And I can't do this. I just can't do it to myself anymore.
Well. My new not one left a hiking book in the back of my car in the envelope, the little slot thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can find you some trails.
She
I
doesn't
don't
want
know
it
what's
back.
what.
Well, you know what you could do? Remember what I did for my last relationship? You could burn it. Because that wasn't. Remember when you called me when I was burning everything? You're like, hey, are you okay? I think we should bring it down a notch.
When I'm calling and saying, hey, you're at a 12, you need to go back to a 10, that's what it's like. Well, okay. If Ian's saying this is a bit much, then maybe we've crossed the line.
You want to know something funny? How both kids are like me in one story, right? So when my ex-husband ran into my ex-boyfriend on an airplane, my ex-husband took a photo and was like, I think your ex-boyfriend is on this plane. So I kind of warned the kids that we're going to go there and it is him and his girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And my daughter immediately says, can I look at the photo? I want to see if she's cute. Right. And my son goes, yep, that's him. That's the only shirt mom didn't burn. Mom of the year. Mom of the year.
As I'm watching that stuff burn, never mind. I don't want it.
I remember my buddy going, this is kind of adult stuff for them to know. And I said, my daughter is not going to grow up to date men like this. And my son is not going to be this kind of man. So I'm going to be honest with him from now, how to act, right?
Listen, kid.
Burn things.
if you're not good to her, this is what happens to your PlayStation if you leave it over there. So this is for you, not for me.
Yeah, right?
I don't want to burn this stuff. It hurts me more to burn this than it does for you to see it. This is to help you.
Before you mess up and destroy her entire life, get your stuff back if she has a fireplace. That's what my son learned.
See, I got the good fireplace. I got the gas fireplace. So even if it's not flammable right away, that flame's just going to keep going till it is.
Oh, man, that jersey went so fast.
Did it really? I bet it did.
Oh, man. You know how this says flammable on pajamas? It should say that on all jerseys. It went so fast.
His team's on fire.
And all my buddies, that was the one they were most mad at. They're like, we don't care about anything else you burn. You burn his football jersey.
Well, they were all like, we would have taken it. I would have please.
No, nobody's Seahawks fans. All right.
Oh, man.
So do what you want to do. Do whatever makes you happy. Oh, thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
Do what you want to do. I'm more of a figure it out when I figure it out, girl. This week I want to hook up. Next week I don't. Sometimes I want a relationship. You know what you want. And that's,
you know what?
You are not a walk of shame guy, and that's fine.
I'm not, and I'm cool with that. You know, I just
Tiffany.
My whole thing is the waiting. Like when do you wait? When do you not wait? You know, like I know I'm good. I know I'm better as a pair than I am not. You know, and so if that means I got baggage that's keeping me from doing that, I mean, you know, I work on it until I can. But on that same token, like I feel like I'm capable of a lot of things that I'm not capable of. So maybe this is one of those things.
You are very capable of a lot of things, but this is how you just said I work better as a pair. But that's two people having to work together to make stuff work. If you just work on yourself, that's only one person that you have to work on making things work.
Yeah, no, I know. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I have no argument to that. None at all.
See,
man, I can't believe I said that. You know, there's been so many times where you've told me I'm right and we've never been recording it. Nobody's ever, like, I don't think anybody has ever actually heard you say that I was right when you said I was right. You've always prefaced it with, I hate that I'm going to say this and I'm only going to say it once, and we never get it on tape.
And you know what? Now I'm going to make sure that I never have it recorded just to annoy you.
No, I know. I think you were already doing it then. I don't think I had to remind you. I think you would have kept doing it. All right. Taco Tuesday.
Okay. Taco Tuesday tonight. I think I'm going to do some homemade tacos. I am meeting the friend for wine tonight. She's a friend of mine as well, and it just all got intertwined. I'm meeting her for wine tonight, and then we'll probably do some tacos or something after that.
I'm going to hit up that Riverbank Farmers Market tonight. I'm going to go. I'm just going to go.
You are? Just go. Just, yeah.
Around.
That's what I did when I went last week.
How do you talk to people at a farmer's market if you've never met them? Do you just go up and say, how are those apples? Like, what do you think of those cactuses over there? Like,
honestly, they'll already know who you are.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to be all snobby or anything, But when I went, and if they don't, please tell me tomorrow because I'll laugh. Because when I went out last week, I couldn't even take a couple steps without, and they were all very nice. A couple steps without somebody coming over and saying,
you know,
hello.
that happens all the time, right?
What?
You get it in the ratio of being recognized in the public. It is a 10 to 1. You are recognized 10 times more than I ever am by design and by who you are. You are a very loud and out there, and like you are pronounced. And when you show up, like when you walk into a room, everybody knows that you walked into that room. When I walk into a room, they're like, "Hey, did you guys get new wallpaper?"
I'd like to disagree with you, but for the second time on this stream, you're right. Oh, wait, you're right now. There, you're right.
I'm gonna take it. All right, see you guys later. That's it. I'm taking the win. I'm out. I'm retiring.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.